Hi! That was really, really, really fucking, like, energetic for a second there.
Wait. We're on?
Yeah, we're
All
on.
right.
I just
All
got
right.
really energetic. Like, I was gonna be like, "Hi, welcome to Manly Gaming 101 Podcast," but then I got embarrassed of myself. I got embarrassed for myself because of that, but, whatever. Anyway, hi, this is a live stream podcast, which is different from your audio podcasts because
Why is that?
I'm too cheap. There you go. Anyway, we're gonna do this once or twice a week, depending on schedules, of course. We'll have more people, depending. This is the first time we're doing this.
Yeah, like we did the Final Fantasy Let's Play once a week.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was actually speaking to Akai, one of the people who reads for our Let's Play, and we discussed that we should actually make a schedule for it. So there will be more of that coming soon, dependent on schedules. For once.
Yeah, don't hold your breath, all right? Don't hold. No, I'm just kidding. No, you can hold your breath. It's fine.
Well, maybe I want to fucking breathe. I don't know. I'm an air breather.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You don't need air. All right.
so we're gonna do
All right.
this.
So
Well,
yeah,
let me
we're gonna do
fucking
this
speak.
We're gonna do this professionally.
This is
right?
not professional.
This is professional.
This isn't. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Yeah, just all right.
Okay,
yeah,
so anyway, we're gonna do this once or twice a week, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, unless we're really, really, really bored,
yeah.
which happens a lot. But
I have to
anyway,
work, like
yeah,
or school work or something like that.
Yeah.
And you see it, but yeah, but if everything's fine.
everything's fine. Anyway, so what we have here is a podcast about gaming, of course, and I'm Zane, the RoboKai in the picture, and this is SM, the Dan in the picture.
Yeah, Dan Hibby K.
Anyway, like I said, we're probably going to have more people as time goes on, most likely, because, two people can't carry a podcast for the rest of their life. And
I've seen it. It's called the Two People Podcast,
and
which is
ignoring
us.
sure. And ignoring that, we're just going to discuss everything.
All right.
Why does the sky blue? Why does the sky blue? Okay, so
I seen a commercial that explained that one time. I forgot what she said though. It was a little girl. And she explained why the sky was blue. But
well, I think she was lying. Just so you know.
I don't know. It was really scientific, like what she was saying.
I don't believe you. Anyway, yeah, so this is the
Fine.
Manly Gaming Podcast. I'll probably work on the graphic a little better, but that was the best I can come up with it with an hour's time. It still looks sexy.
Yeah, it still looked good. I like it.
This is a sexy podcast now.
Some people just put like wallpaper and they're like done.
Some people undress.
Yeah. No,
Maybe
no,
next
no.
time.
All right. Anyway, so about the first topic. I was thinking the new Resident Evil 6.
So you want to talk about Resident Evil 6?
I
Okay.
thought we agreed on that.
Yes, we did. We did agree on that. I didn't know if we were doing it first. Anyway, can you make the controller
Well, the
undress?
controller, I was already naked.
Well, no, he has a tie
Just
on.
has a-
So okay, just for you.
I just-
Next time, Akai. Just for you.
Alright, but
The
you gotta
controller won't
censor,
have a
like-
tie.
You gotta censor the batteries.
Okay, we'll censor the batteries. Anyway, Resident Evil 6 got a lot of buzz lately, of course, because
Bad buzz.
bad buzz because it is one of those AAA blockbuster titles that came out, of course, from Capcom of all things. And
Yeah.
if you haven't been paying attention lately, Capcom has not been having the most well-off year for publicity, I would say. On disc DLC, Street Fighter X Tekken as a whole, most people felt was a waste of money and time. The new Devil May Cry reboot that has been getting a lot of bad publicity. I feel it's unjustified because I personally feel like most people are throwing a shit fit because of the new designs for the characters. Not to mention that the game was outsourced to another company, Ninja Theory. And, of course, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City was a huge, huge flop.
Yeah.
I mean-
I actually never played it, but
I haven't played it either, but I felt like it was a huge factor, and that was another outsourced game. And Zipper Interactive closed down less than a month after that game came out.
Yeah, they did do that.
So, that company went under. A lot of people are hesitant about the new DMC, but,
Yeah.
I personally feel like
I
I'll give it a
think
chance.
I don't. I think the whole DMC thing is because I don't know. People just kind of hate change. Like I know people um it's like a whole if it's not broke don't fix it kind of deal, but
Yeah.
people want like games to change like relatively, like they want to be like, oh, add little stuff, but they don't want the fundamentals to change. That's just like if Nintendo changed Mario, it'd be a big deal. Like
Yeah.
it's like, and people don't like that, so they don't like the new goth look. If they changed it, maybe they just changed like his hairstyle or something like that, but he still had white hair, he still looked the same. It might not have been that big of a deal. Maybe changed his coat, but
Yeah,
when you're talking about major changes like that, it seems like it'll get on people's nerves, especially for such a big gaming icon.
yeah, but I do see where Capcom's going because from Devil May Cry 3 to 4, a lot of people were like, "Ugh, 4's underwhelming. It's not nearly as good as 3. They didn't change enough," and stuff like that. So, you know, as a whole, gamers are becoming a lot harder to please. I
Yeah,
would
that's
feel
true.
like it's like a tug of war. If you don't change enough, people say it's more of the same. I mean, look at Call of Duty. If you change too much, people bitch about it because too much different. Look at Resident Evil 6. Which, getting
Yeah.
back to the point of Resident Evil 6, that game has been getting a lot of bad reviews.
I can, it's like, I guess it's a toss up. Like, I can see why people have been giving it, like, some bad reviews. Like, there's some parts, like, I don't want to spoil anyone, but there's some parts I didn't particularly enjoy
Yes,
the game.
I was in the party on Xbox with you while you and Amador were having a
Yeah, when
lot of
Amador's,
trouble.
yeah, when Amador's stomach, like, got a vasectomy, that sucked.
That was still really
And,
funny listening to that.
and, yeah, it's basically like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It just some parts. Like one thing I will admit I really liked about the game was the combat. I felt the combat was a lot better from 5 and 4, because I mean in 4 like you had like shoot their ankle, they would like stumble and then you do a melee, but now you can actually do melee automatic.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Like in that aspect, like the combat and stuff and rolling on the ground and everything like that, I felt that aspect was an improvement.
Yeah,
But
they retained a lot from the older games too, because you could still shoot people in the ankle and they'll fall down or they'll fall to their knees or something, and you could do a different melee attack compared to the normal physical attacks.
yeah, I guess a lot of people, one of the main problems with Resident Evil 5 that a lot of people had was that they focused more on the action than the actual horror.
Yeah.
And that's kind of true in this sense, even to like the next step, because
Yeah.
you got like the dogs are underwhelming. Like how do you mess up zombie dogs? Like I don't get how those, you should not be terrified when you see a zombie dog coming at you. Like they should be hard to shoot. They should be like, in the Resident Evil 5, they would like, if you, even after you shot them for a while, they would like grow tentacles out of their face and their
Yeah.
face would open up, and it was pretty horrifying. Like
Yeah.
dealing with it. You're like, oh my god, 5 dogs, and then it'd be terrible. This one is like, oh, a dog, and you just shoot it a
Yeah.
few
Like
times, put it down.
in Mercenaries, the dogs are a complete joke. They die in like one or two pistol bullets. Which, that new game mechanic, Quick Shot, which pretty much homes in the closest enemy and does a quick shot, instantly disposes of the dogs in the Mercenaries game mode. In the actual game, the dogs take a lot more bullets, but as you said, they are a lot less intimidating. They don't hurt too much. They take about 1 bar of health when they do jump on you, but they sit there waiting for a good 3 seconds before they jump because the dog's controls, if you actually play Agent Hunt, which is a new mode, that once you beat a campaign, you're able to invade other people's games, Dark Souls and Demon Souls style, and control
Hmm.
the monsters in the specific points of the campaign. There's points per campaign that you can control the monsters, and one of the points is you can control zombie dogs in an early part of Leon's campaign. And
Okay.
if you hadn't noticed, I got a chance to play as some of the zombie dogs. They are a bitch and a half to control because when you're moving, you can't turn. You have to stop
Wow.
to turn, which is why even the AI stops to turn and then aim and then fire and jump at you. So the dogs, even in Agent Hunt, are not that intimidating. They don't do much damage unless you buy one of the skills in Agent Hunt to do more damage. Then you're kind of intimidating, but it's still really hard to hit people, which is fair given the fact that if you can control yourself as well as the actual protagonist in Resident Evil 6 and Agent Hunt, you would be as soon as you get invaded, it's pretty much game over. So I find that fair, but the
Yeah.
zombie dogs are a joke when you control them.
Yeah, I mean that's probably why they were nerfed so hard was because of the addition of Agent Hunt. Like they're like, wow, these things are gonna be too powerful. Let's kind of nerf them a bit. But then in like a co-op campaign or a player campaign, it makes them like completely underwhelming. Like it really, you're like, oh, the dogs. You just kind of stomp on them and they're done. Like they're really not all that big of a threat.
No, they're not at all.
And
The
I
other
think like
enemies.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some enemies that are kind of a threat, but like to be honest, I think what are they called? Skills? Like those things you buy?
The
They're
skills,
skills,
yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. I think they might be a little too cheap because like I got like defense level 3 before I finished the campaign.
Yeah.
And after you get defense level 3, like I've been hit by bosses and it doesn't even do like a whole bar of health of damage. Like it like it's kind of underwhelming. Like, oh, I got hit by a boss.
Yeah. Once you get
Whatever. And you
defense
just
level
kind of
3, you have to up your difficulty level or you're just going to take no damage.
yeah, but I mean, it was on professional was the
Yeah.
thing. Like there's nothing else like I could upgrade it to. And I mean, you can make the argument, I suppose, that you can leave that out, but it's like it's in the game, so like why wouldn't I use it?
Yeah, I agree. But I did find myself taking a lot of damage,
Yeah, like it's
mostly
not impossible to
mostly
die. Like you're
because
not
of
the
a
judge.
gameplay flaw. Like,
Yeah,
I was talking to you while I was doing Leon's campaign, and the game, just like old Resident Evil games, would go to a cutscene like showing a door opening or something like that, or a gate raising, and it would do it while the gameplay's still running. And because zombies and you and everyone's a lot more mobile in this game than any other Resident Evil game, as soon as you get back to your character, you might have a zombie literally already lunging at you, and the only way you could predict that is if you're mashing the roll button or the duck button while the cutscene is still playing. And as you saw, I was getting completely destroyed by zombies because I couldn't dodge them because I couldn't see them coming. And
yeah,
that's where I took
that's
most of my
definitely a
damage.
problem.
I had defense level 3 when we were playing that campaign.
Yeah,
Granted, in some of the other campaigns, there are actual monsters on professional that do a lot more than one bar of damage. I can cite one right now that actually, for all 6 blocks of health that you have, when it hit me directly with defense level 3, did 4 blocks of damage.
wait, you're not talking about Malphite, are you?
I am talking about.
Wait, really?
He decks you, that's 4 blocks. I have defense level 3. I don't know if what you're doing, but
Dude, he,
I took a
hit
lot
me
of damage.
twice.
I took a lot of
Dude,
damage.
I don't know. He hit me like twice, and I was like, I just got back up. Like, oh, okay. Like, I think it did like maybe 4 blocks of damage in total, but I was still alive. Like, I was still moving around. It didn't like kill me though.
I took one deck and I went down to like 2 bars of health left. And Amador,
Really?
when I was playing Chris's campaign with him, he was also on professional. He didn't. He had defense level 1. He was at full health, and he took one deck to the face and went down, and actually went down, like he was down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you have defense level 1, I can see that thing bodying you.
Yeah, yeah. He
in
also
the
was out.
head.
He was out of ammo, and he went to knife it, so it was a whole mess. It was a complete
I don't know
mess.
if I hate it.
I kept
I don't
telling
know.
him to back off, but you know what? He did knife it to death, so I gotta give him props for that. Because I was out of ammo too. But that's besides the point. That's citing stuff that happened. But there are flaws with this game. We cannot deny that. I personally enjoy the game a lot. I'm still playing it, even though I
I
beat.
still gotta do Chris's campaign
Yeah,
and
I've-
finish Jake's, but
I've beaten
Leon's
3 out of
like
4.
yeah, go ahead.
And I've beaten 3 out of 4 campaigns. I'm enjoying it still.
Yeah,
You
I
were saying
mean,
about Leon's.
yeah, Leon's like I know that was supposed to be the quote unquote scary one,
Mhm.
but it wasn't actually like scary. Like even when there was a ton of zombies, you either had the option of just throwing an incendiary and just taking them all out, or just kind of mowing them down and meleeing, and it was completely fine. Like I never felt there was a point where I was overwhelmed by zombies or anything like that. I mean, a few points, but it really didn't feel like all that scary, especially since maybe fifth of the game was like, fighting that guy. Like that one guy that I won't mention, but you fight
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah. I did enjoy that because like every Resident Evil game's got a recurring boss at one point, except for the first one, I
Yeah.
think. First one doesn't really have a recurring boss theme going on, but Resident Evil 2 had Leon being stalked by one tyrant for a majority of the game. I think Claire at a couple points encountered the tyrant. No, Claire had William Birkin chasing her throughout her entire campaign. So, there was that feeling of that recurring thing going on, which is the whole point of Jake's campaign, of course, to get that
Yeah,
feeling back.
yeah.
Resident Evil 3, Nemesis. That's the subtitle. That's the mofo chasing you the entire damn game, trying to murder you with a bazooka.
Yeah. Well, I will admit the boss, he's not as bad the second playthrough, but the first playthrough,
Oh, I can
yeah,
see.
I had no idea what I was like, how to beat him, and me and Amdra was dying constantly, and I was dying a few times, but after the second playthrough,
It was more
it's like,
enjoyable.
it was more enjoyable. I was like, oh, this isn't like as bad because I know what to do. I
Hmm.
know the part about the lightning and the zombies. I know what I have to do with that one. Um, and it would just, overall, I felt more enjoyable experience playing it the second time, which is a little weird because you would think the second time would be the boring one and the
Yeah.
first time would be the most enjoyable, but it's actually like the other way around,
Yeah,
to be
I
honest.
I actually did enjoy my first playthroughs, mostly because the experience of figuring out what to do is fun. Even though
Yeah.
there's like no puzzles in this game, but there's a couple of like actual puzzles that make it feel like, oh my god, this thing has more puzzles than five. Whoa,
I
and
didn't have any puzzles. I
exactly,
like two.
had like had like one puzzle, and that was the liquor puzzle, and god damn, screw that puzzle. But no, like there was more puzzles. I felt Leon's campaign had a couple of like, not like, oh my god, I'm stumped puzzles, but like this is an enjoyable break from combat, doing a little puzzle thing and, stuff like that, especially in chapter 2. Um
Yeah.
Chapter 3 of Jake's campaign had a couple of little mini puzzles I enjoyed, especially.
I hated the stealth in Jay's
Well,
campaign.
yeah, okay, there's another flaw. The stealth is broken in this game. They
Yeah,
Unless you are so precise that you know everything that's going on in the room, meaning you did it a couple of times or it's your next playthrough or something like that, you will be detected through walls. You will be detected even if you're sneaking up on someone. You have to know the patrol routes precisely for the enemies to sneak up and assassinate them, which is the whole point of the stealth routes. And
Yeah, and
Jake,
it's not only that though. Is there's no place to after you're detected. That's pretty much
yeah,
it. Like
that's
they're
it.
gonna come after you.
They know where
Like
you
there's
are,
no way. Yeah, yeah, they know where you are permanently.
even if
You
you
can go into a
hide.
move. Yeah, you can go into a room maybe like a minute before anyone gets in there, and you can hide, and they will know you're in there.
Yeah, they'll knock you,
And
they'll knock you out of a cabinet or something, and that's
yeah,
broken.
yeah,
That's not good.
that's broken. That's not
Um,
really stealth. Like if you're gonna implement, like there's too many games that do stealth right to implement something like that
yeah.
for a stealth mechanic. Like they're like you
Speaking
got,
speaking
yeah.
of another broken mechanic, cover.
It
God
takes
damn.
some getting used to. It
I
takes a little
Yeah,
getting
it
used
takes
to.
getting used to, but I have to admit, the cover mechanic in Resident Evil 6 is one of the worst cover mechanics I've ever had to deal with in a video game.
Yeah,
In a
it's really not.
time in a time where we have third-person shooters and
Yeah, like
first-person
Gears of
shooters
War
coming
and
up out of my ass, oversaturating the gaming genre with cover mechanics that work very well, like Gears of War. Even Uncharted has a really good cover mechanic. And Uncharted's not about the gunfight. Well, it is kind of about the gunfights, but it's not focused on the gunfights. Um, Resident Evil 5 had a really bad cover mechanic as well, which was mostly walk up to
yeah,
wall, press A, then you take
yeah.
cover. But to shoot, you have to get off the cover. But they kind of mix that in with this, where you hold down left trigger and aim near a wall, you get on cover. But if you don't want to get into that cover, you have no goddamn say about it. You're on the wall
Yeah.
already. And coming out of cover and shooting and going back in, sometimes it's just back and forth, and you don't want that. You want to get off the cover and walk away a bit and aim without being on the cover, because the cover sometimes limits your aiming. And getting behind crouch cover can be a pain in the butt sometimes too. Generally,
It really can.
it's a mess.
Yeah, it's the cover mechanic, the stealth, and some of the enemies. The fact that they're not really all that scary, like some of them. I mean, there are some parts where like, oh man, I gotta hurry and get to this point because otherwise I'm gonna get bodied. But there's I don't know. I didn't really feel all that scared. I doubt it's like Chris's campaign is gonna be that scary because it's the Call of Duty one. But it might have some scary elements too. I don't know. I haven't played it,
I'm
but
I'm gonna say what I said to a couple people about Resident Evil 6 between Leon and Chris's campaign. This is spoiler free. It's just my opinion on the story and the feel throughout the entire campaign. I feel Leon's campaign started off kind of scary. The atmosphere was very good. It started off very strong. It ended with a whimper, in my opinion.
yeah, it really did. I mean,
And
there was some like fun parts where like you have to cover the person because like the monster's gonna yeah, I know that's where the monster.
but Chris's campaign started a little weak because, like you said, it's the Call of Duty unquote, I mean quote unquote campaign, but
Mhm.
it goes from that feel more into a typical Resident Evil feel as it goes on, and I feel like it had one of the strongest finishes of a campaign in the game. Like, I really, really enjoyed it at the end.
Okay.
And I know Amador agrees with me on this. We spoke about it. I feel Chris's campaign was actually, like, it wasn't the black sheep of the game, like most people thought it was going to be. People were going to be like, okay, Jake's got that thing chasing him his whole campaign, and it's going to feel like the adrenaline. It's going to be action-packed like it was, and it's going to be,
Mhm.
kind of cool. Reminders of Resident Evil 3. Leon's campaign is going to be the scary campaign, like old school Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 was pretty scary at times. Um, and then Chris's campaign was going to be Resident Evil 5 amped up to the max. And I feel that the general basis of what everyone thought before the game came out was completely incorrect. I think after the games come out, most people feel like Jake's campaign is actually the worst,
Yeah.
which I sat down.
It's probably because the
I,
stealth. It's probably because the stealth. Like I would say, the stealth is
there's
probably what kind of ruins it. Because it's like you have the momentum going, and then it gets to the stealth, and it like stops
yeah,
all the
well,
momentum it had.
the secret campaign that you unlock after beating the first three actually has a lot of stealth moments.
Okay. Is it better than like Jake's and?
No,
Or
not
you never
really,
played?
not really.
Okay.
I've done like the first two chapters in it so far. It's the single player campaign. There's no co-op, and when I got to the stealth part, I got like maybe 4 or 5 kills in, and then I got detected, and I seriously started screaming at my TV, "Screw this goddamn shit," and ran through the entire level. I ran through the entire level.
Is it the are you telling me it's the same as Jake's? So you have to like if you get detected, that's it?
Well, no spoilers aside, in Jake's campaign, when you have to do the stealth, you only have to do the stealth as one character.
Okay.
The other character mostly literally beats the living shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Trying not to spoil, but that was a little obvious. But yeah, so um, after a couple of runs of Jake's campaign, I can actually do the stealth part perfectly. So
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't need to give a crap about that anymore. And now it's fun. The stealth part's fun now because I just mow through it. But that's besides the point. The stealth is broken. The cover system's broken. And so far, I'm not enjoying the single player campaign as much as I did the other ones. Probably because I'm a co-op guy at heart. I love multiplayer. I love co-op. Single player
I
games,
don't.
I do
To be
love single
honest,
player games, but ugh.
that's true. To be honest, I think this game is designed for like co-op. I think it's like makes it more enjoyable
Yeah.
with co-op. I would say. Like I think like with the two people thing. I think they're kind of shifting to more of a co-op, um, or like co-op experience as opposed to like single player now.
Yeah. I
To like
feel
try to
like
get people to buy
compared to
it.
5 though, where that game was like supposed to be more like 4 but ended up feeling just like a shoehorned co-op game which ruined most of the moments of like any terror or anything like that. Compared to that, they actually synchronized the story and the gameplay moments and the set moments in with the co-op a lot better in 6 than they did with 5, which is part of the reason why I feel like despite six's flaws, like the cover system, some of the gameplay mechanics, the stealth especially, and some of the repetitive things that ends up happening towards the end of the campaigns or whatever, I feel like generally it's a lot better, even though here we go, 6 has on-disc DLC.
Yeah, well, I mean, 5 had on disc.
Yeah, 5 had on-disc DLC, which was Versus Mode, which people threw a shitstorm about, but Versus Mode ended up being really cheap, and sometimes it felt like it wasn't even worth the points to buy it. But,
Yeah.
like I said, Resident Evil 6 has on-disc DLC, which everyone's been throwing a shitstorm at Capcom about for the past couple months for their games.
I mean, they've been doing it. It's because they've been doing it so much. Like, they've been doing the on disc. Like, people don't like that. People don't like things on the disc that they spend money for. Like, I know Capcom themselves as a company, the $60 just pays them for, the work they put into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But for the consumer, $60 is a pretty decent amount. I mean, with taxes, that's like $64 and like change.
It's about 64.
That's a decent amount of money to spend on the game. They figure they should get all the stuff that was in development, or at least that's on the disc.
Mm-hmm.
And when they don't get that, get it. I think it's I guess a point of kind of being in other person's shoes.
Yeah.
Sort of like Capcom as the company, they need the money.
They have their reasons for it too. I mean, when the whole Street Fighter X Tekken debacle came across, because that was like, how many characters was that? 12 DLC characters on the disc completed, and they weren't going to come out until like 6 or 7 months later. And the uproar was so big that they lowered the price for the DLC and released it months in advance.
Yeah,
but,
it was.
They explained their points for the on-disc DLC, which I read. I felt like maybe it's a little justified, but at the same time, they said they were going to stop it, and then here's Resident Evil 6 with on-disc DLC, and there it is. Though, to be quite honest, these are completely different studios within Capcom, so you can't really fault the entirety of Capcom so much as the internal development studios, but most people don't look into that stuff, or, you know how the internet is. And this is me playing the devil's advocate, of course. And, they said they had their reasons, which it saves DLC, how much you have to download. With Street Fighter X Tekken, it also allows it to be compatible with the Vita version on the PS3, so you could play from your PS3 against people who have a Vita, which I think is cool. Even though I don't like Street Fighter X Tekken, I actually traded it in 2 weeks ago.
I think one of the no, go ahead.
I traded it in for Resident Evil 6.
I think one of the my main thing with the whole DLC for Street Fighter X Tekken, I didn't buy it. I admit I didn't really buy it, but that's why I didn't really have much of an opinion on the whole DLC. I thought it was stupid, but that was just my opinion of it. I didn't really get serious about it. But my main thing was that Blanca and Cody wasn't playable. I don't know why. Yeah, why were they not? Blanca's been there since Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And Cody was in the trailer. He's pretty big King of Fighters,
King of Fighters. Final Fight.
Oh wait. Oh, Final Fight. There we go. I'm confused. Oops. He's a pretty big Final Fight character. So it's why wasn't he on the why weren't they at least on this? And there's also Sakura, she's not playable. You have to DLC for her. So it's that seems like them being greedy. And as opposed to
it could, but at the same time they might have picked some of the more iconic characters for the DLC specifically, because if they had put characters I don't know, Hugo and Poison as DLC, some people might not care for the DLC as much as they would if they saw Blanca and Sakura on the DLC, because it's Blanca and Sakura are playable in Super Street Fighter, and Super Street Fighter is one of the most played fighting games internationally. And, a lot of people main Sakura, a lot of people main Blanca. I mean, Sakura was actually one of the top 8 characters at EVO 2012, which is essentially one of the biggest fighting game tournaments in the entire world. And putting a character like her and Blanca, who's iconic Street Fighter material, as DLC makes it more enticing to get, especially after the on-disc DLC thing. Like,
Yeah.
another good thing is, why was Lars from Tekken DLC when Lars has pretty much become an iconic Tekken character since 6?
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
I don't remember who else was DLC. Jack. Jack is an iconic Tekken character because there's a new Jack at every Tekken game. Who else was DLC? Uh,
I could probably
People. People were DLC. There was
Tommy,
DLC characters.
we don't want to focus too much on DLC.
Yeah, of course. But
yeah, but
on disc
I mean,
DLC.
I'm not saying it was a bad marketing plan. I'm just saying for like like the customers, it might have made them seem kind of douchebagish. Like, I mean, marketing wise, that was pretty smart. Like, okay, let's not put Blanca and Sakura on there, and we can leave them as DLC. And of course, Sakura is one of the most main characters, top 10, top 8.
Yeah.
She's like heavily main. Let's, put her on there, and then now, people of course will buy them. And Blanca, he's like, I think I would main him if it wasn't for Dan, and if he wasn't so freaking hard to play for me, I would probably main him.
Charge
But
characters, man.
I used to main him in the old, like when I was little and I played Street Fighter 2. I used to main him. I used to like shock people in the corner like all the time. That's why he's one of my favorite Street Fighter characters. But yeah, like marketing wise, I can see why that was a good move. But like for the customers, I can understand why they would be angry about that. But
and that's when you start getting into the whole legality of on disc DLC. People saying it's illegal when technically it's not, because you own the disc, but you don't own what's on the disc. The disc is just.
I don't know why people say that was illegal.
I don't know, but the disc is actually, you buying the disc is essentially you buying a voucher for the files on the disc that are made available. Anything else on the disc that isn't made available, you don't have legal access to. So people actually hacking the disc to make the DLC characters playable just to show everyone that it's playable and whatnot, that's actually illegal.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I don't know why people would try to say, oh, no, I bought the disc, so I should have everything on. Companies could do what they want. Like, you pay, like, basically for the game, you got the game, and, hey, they added a few things you can't get. I mean, they're, like, Grand Theft Auto even had something on it that, like, you couldn't get, like, hot coffee mod or whatever.
Yeah,
you couldn't get, because
there was Saints Row.
I mean, people do that people do that all the time. Like, there's little stuff that they they lock away on the disc that you can't access. Whether it's a glitch or something that they, didn't want to say, hey, let's take this all the way out the disc. It's going to take longer time. We could just, lock it from the consumer,
Especially when
quicker
development times are in the way. I mean, the development time that was used to put the DLC characters already on the disc for Street Fighter X Tekken, I think that was used to help create one of Capcom's new announcements this weekend, Street Fighter X Tekken version 2013. Everyone always like fighting games get a new update every year like those Madden titles. It's kind of true, but this is a free update.
Okay.
It's a free patch that fixes a lot of things that's wrong with the game. I just read it. It was announced at New York Comic Con, or for New York Comic Con, and what can I say? It's a thing. I glanced through it before we started the podcast. I'm sure no one really cares about the changes right now. We can discuss that at a later date sometime if we want to discuss it. Personally, I don't even care because I traded in the game. It's behind me now. It's behind me. I did buy one of the DLC costumes for King because he was my main. I don't regret it. It was $1.
Yeah.
I got $11 for the game. I didn't pay for Resident Evil 6. I traded in 3 games. I got it for free, essentially. Also, you helped me with that, but
yeah, it was on like $10.
You actually helped me afford the 1-year warranty. But that's besides the point. The thing is, Capcom's releasing that new update. That's coming out. And what else did they announce at New York Comic Con? They showed some gameplay for Lost Planet 3. I haven't looked at that yet. And then they announced a new HD re-release, which they've been doing a lot lately. Oh,
wait, dude. We got to finish, like, Resident Evil thing.
Oh.
We never really finished.
All right.
I think, like, here's why I think of it. I think it's a pretty nice game. I think it's pretty fun to have with your friends. I mean, usually, I think dying, like, usually me and Armor like messed up on the cell parts a lot. They end up with us dying, and I think it's a pretty neat game to play with your friends. Like I don't think it's terrible or anything like that. I think, but I think if you're gonna get it, maybe you should rent it to see if like because I mean once you beat it, it's like well you gotta wait for DLC.
Mhm.
So I would suggest that as a rent. I don't know as a buy unless you're gonna do like you did and trade in some games you don't really want. Maybe add $20, $30 to it. 'Cause I know GameStop has that deal going on where they're for like 2 games, $20. Like if you got some games you don't really care for, you're like, okay, well let me trade this in for something new.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be fine. I don't know if I suggest it for like an all out buy. I'm not sure about that. Maybe a rent or like what I said previously. But like I didn't think it was a terrible game. It was entertaining, and that's the main thing you can ask out of a game is to be entertaining and enjoyable.
Yeah. You still got to
But
beat the rest of the game though.
yeah,
Yeah.
I still gotta beat the rest of it. But
That's your first impression after beating what, one campaign?
yeah, like 1.5 campaigns or whatever.
Completely valid first impressions. Me?
Yeah.
I'm coming off of beating 75% of the game, if not 80. I've played the crap out of Mercenaries. I've played the crap out of Agent Hunt, and all right, this is what I think about it. I think it's a terrible single player experience.
No. If you're just doing it for single play, like at least have someone there that you can do co-op with,
Well,
like a friend or
it's
something like
it,
that.
don't buy the game for single player if you don't have anyone to play it with, if you don't have online, unless you're a diehard Resident Evil fan or you're seriously willing to give it a shot. If you're going to buy it and be critical about it, you're pretty much buying what you're asking for, even if you rent it for the single player experience. It's not
Yeah.
really a single player game, even if the AI is completely competent. And there
Mhm.
are a lot of single player skills that you can get in the skill shop that help you play the game a lot better single player. But as a co-op game, I enjoyed it. I like all the campaigns after, I played through Chris's twice. I've played through most of Leon's twice. I've played through Jake's twice, and I'm currently playing through the single player campaign, which is why I'm saying I don't like the single player in the game too much. I'm not enjoying it as much. But co-op wise, the co-op's solid. There are 4-player co-op intersections where you intersect with other people's story because the stories do intersect, and that is really cool. But in design, it's a little flawed because of the matchmaking. You also cannot
Yeah.
voice chat with the people you get matched up with, and if
It's
you,
just terrible.
it's a little terrible. Even though I've had a lot of luck lately getting matched up with people, and it does make it a lot more fun. I mean, you
It
saw,
really does. It really does make it. I will admit that like when it works, it's fun. Like
you
playing with
saw
more people like you don't know and you can't really hear. Like it's fun. Like I'm not gonna lie.
You saw me
When it
going
works.
batshit when we got matched up with that one person towards the end of Leon's campaign. I was going completely batshit.
Yeah. Like it when it works, it's really fun.
The
When
Agent
when
Hunt.
it like works. Agent Hunt. All right, they
It-
could have did Agent Hunt better.
yes, the
They
matchmaking in
could.
Agent Hunt sucks. Complete
You can
balls.
only search one thing, and that's veteran or higher, and that's it. Like I really don't
Yeah,
think
it's either
there's any.
any or veteran or higher. So basically, you can go from amateur to professional, or you can go veteran or professional in the choice. Which means if you're friends, if you want to match up with them, if they're playing a veteran or professional, it makes it easier to find them, but it doesn't make it entirely possible. Me, I
Yeah,
had
like
actual luck matching up with you in Amador's games as you played, but
yeah, like a
everyone
couple times.
else we had with us in the party could not find your games. I couldn't even
Yeah.
find Kazi's games when I was playing.
I think all right. I think they could have added this difficulty and campaign. If they could have added
Mhm.
that into the search, that would have made things a lot easier. I think
And
not
then,
not just to find your friend's game. I think
and
that would have
then
made it.
another problem with that inherently is that when you're not actually finding a game, it's like could not find any games to join, even though your friends don't have a full Agent Hunt game or whatever running in the campaigns, and you can't find them. What's up with that? The matchmaking for Agent Hunt fundamentally is broken and
I think it was just
terrible.
tacked on. Like I think
It
they
was
really
tacked on.
tacked
It
on.
really was tacked on. I mean, I saw it advertised a little bit. It wasn't really advertised as like this huge like, whoa, this is like Call of Duty multiplayer. No, it was a tacked on mode. It's a little extra thing, just like the 4-player co-op, which I can
Yeah.
appreciate. But The Mercenaries, which is a full-blown mode, is actually done very well. Very well.
Yeah, yeah. I think
And
Mercenary. Yeah, I like Mercenaries.
basically, if you like co-op
Fine.
games, Resident Evil 6 might be for you. If you like Resident Evil 6 might be for you. Unless you're one of those people who are like classic Resident Evil, like Resident Evil 4 is one of the worst games ever created, you're gonna fucking hate this game.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna don't even like bother. If you
Yeah.
think Resident Evil is like the worst game, is an abomination.
Like 4 and
Don't even.
5. If you hated 4
Yeah,
and
if you.
5, you're gonna hate 6. You're gonna fucking
Yeah.
despise 6. If you were one of the people who are like 0 to 3 are some of the best Resident Evil games ever, and 4 is the beginning of the downfall, you're gonna hate 6
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Like if you got to like, I will say this: if you got like a group of friends
Mm-hmm.
who are getting this game, all right, we'll get it. But if you're like by yourself and you're just gonna play with random people online, I
Rent
would
it.
probably say rent it. Like
Yeah.
if you're just gonna play with random people like you don't know online, like I probably wouldn't suggest it. But if you got like a lot of friends who's getting it, it's like because it's like in all honesty, this is probably besides Halo 4, probably like one of the last AAA titles besides Halo 4 that's gonna be out
Well,
like this
Assassin's
year.
Creed 3 is coming out this year.
Wait, it is?
There's a couple of AAA titles coming up soon. This is like Borderlands 2 to Resident Evil 6 was the beginning of the onslaught of games coming out late this year and early next year. So there's Halo
I know
4.
Gears of War coming out. I know Gears of War is coming out in March.
Yeah, so that's like the tail end of it, and then Halo 4 is coming out soon. Assassin's Creed 3, I think, either comes out really late this year in December or January to February-ish. I'm not sure. I think it's this year. I'm pretty sure it's this year because they have an Assassin's Creed 3 Wii U bundle, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's leading me to believe it's coming out November-ish.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, hey, if you liked, Resident Evil 4 or 5, you got some people to play with, and just don't play it single player. Like, I don't like if you're just gonna play it by yourself. I'm not so sure you're gonna love it. If
Yeah.
you didn't like, but hey, it's really your decision. Like, I'm not gonna tell you.
Naturally, it's your decision, but I would give it a 7 out of 10.
All right, I'll probably give it maybe a 7 out of 10. That's a pretty solid choice. Maybe
Yeah.
6.5, something like that.
I mean, it's not the greatest
No,
game. It's not mind-blowing, but it's for what it is, it's fun. It's a little broken, but once you get over that or you get past those parts of the game, it's seriously not as bad as most people are making it out to be, like the devil of Resident Evil that's the beginning of the series' demise or whatever like that. It's fun, and that's why there's 530,000 people playing it every day on the Xbox. Because ResidentEvil.net, even though it wasn't working when it first came out, works perfectly fine now. Every time I log on every day so I can get those login bonuses and stuff like that. There's about over 500,000 people playing almost at any given time in the world, which, it's not a lot compared to other games, but for the world and for a game that Destructoid gave a 3 out of 10, that's a lot of people who are still playing it, and they're people who hated it stopped playing it already. Or if they're still playing it, why the hell are they still playing if they hate it so much,
Yeah, like, I think it's a fun game to play, It's not, I don't think it's terrible or anything.
6 or 7 out of 10, I would recommend it to people who like co-op and have friends who are going to get the game, or any friends of mine. I would recommend it to. It's fun. I don't regret buying it at all. I don't regret trading in 3 games for this game at all. I don't. I really don't. The hell were we going to
Wow, we already been doing this for an hour. I didn't even know that.
Hasn't been an hour. It's been 43 minutes. I got myself
really?
I got a timer. But
All right. What was the other thing you was talking about?
I was
Wii?
talking
What you
about-
talking about?
I was talking about those HD re-releases that Capcom's been doing lately, like Monster Hunter 3 HD, Street Fighter Third Strike. They released it HD on Xbox Live, stuff like that. I mean, it's granted it's welcome because I mean, who are you gonna play Third Strike in across the country? How are you gonna play Super Turbo 2 across the country? Stuff like that. Recently. Today, actually, they announced an HD collection for Darkstalkers of Darkstalkers 3 and Vampire Savior as a collection on the Xbox and PS3 next year, which I feel is also a gauge for Capcom wondering if this sells well, maybe we'll make Darkstalkers 4.
It's possible.
Yeah, I really don't have anything else to say about that. I don't think you know much about Darkstalkers.
No, I really don't.
I'm excited. All I could say is I'm excited.
It seems like a pretty nice game. Like Darkstalkers, the one that came out that's coming out for the Wii U and the other consoles. I think it's coming out for the other consoles, isn't it?
Should be. I think Wii U is like there. I don't know. Speaking of the Wii U, you were talking about something earlier.
Oh yeah, Tekken Tag Tournament is actually gonna have a little addition with the Wii U.
I think I heard about this. Is it Tekken
Yeah.
Ball?
No.
Oh.
What it is Nintendo characters costumes.
Oh.
So you can so you can have like, the panda dressed up as Princess Peach. All right, someone dressed up as Mario, someone dressed up as Luigi. Yeah, so it's a little additional thing they added, little wacky thing. So it could be dressed up as Bowser.
I remember seeing the trailer for that. Why don't you link that in the chat, actually?
Got it right here.
Oh damn. I saw that trailer and I thought that was freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh wait, why am I still Luke in chat? Oops.
Oh, I thought Luke was watching this entire time. I was like, man, Luke must really like our podcast. But no, it's just you with his name.
Yeah.
Disappointed. Oh wait, this is the new trailer.
That's a new one.
Yeah, you linked the New York Comic Con trailer. Okay, I did. I just remember seeing the initial Wii U trailer from like a month or two ago. Must have new stuff. I haven't watched it yet. I'll watch it later.
But yeah, it looks pretty wacky. I probably not gonna. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the Wii U or not. But from what I've been seeing, it seems like it's gonna sell really well. There's already a waiting list at GameStop.
Yep, I did not get on the pre-order list.
There's already so it's obviously gonna sell like hotcakes. Like Nintendo knows how to sell a console. They don't really know how to sell software. I mean, they can sell software for the handhelds. It doesn't really do as well on the consoles as some of the other.
Given the fact that they're finally catching up to this gen,
yeah,
I think they'll do fine on third party this time because now they're not gonna have those shitty Carnival third party games that no one buys.
Dude, I don't know. I think there's still gonna be a few, man. This like people love doing that. People love doing the party games because they sell. They sell.
They sell, but I feel like the Wii U is gonna be a more burly piece of software to develop for. That yeah, you can still get those Wii gimmicks because the Wii's probably still gonna have games because it's backwards compatible from what I hear.
Yeah, it's gonna be backwards.
So there's still gonna be that, but I feel like for the Wii U specifically, it's gonna sell better and have a longer lifespan because the core gamers are gonna come back to the console.
I hope so. I'm gonna wait a little while. I'm still a little skeptical. I'm gonna wait maybe maybe till the end of next year, see how it does, see if Nintendo is like gonna be pushing because I know a lot of stuff for the Wii I felt they didn't really come through on like some of the stuff they like having your Wii stay on overnight like in that little standby mode and you get up and there's like new levels and stuff like that didn't really happen like
you're probably gonna have to wait till the end of next year to get a Wii U anyway.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna be sold out for like a year.
It's gonna be the Wii repeated, man. I mean, the 3DS, yeah, you can still get your hands on one perfectly fine, but those things are like mass-produced. You can mass-produce those things. The Wii, shit. If I didn't pre-order that, I would not have owned it for like a year.
Yeah, I did own it for like a year because it is that hard to find.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're also not gonna. I know, Kai, you are the loneliest listener, but I know it's the Wii U. I mean, in recent news, the Wii U is actually not. They're not gonna sell the gamepad separately.
Which is
so
weird.
If you break it, you're screwed. Maybe they'll have something on the Nintendo site.
I think they're gonna have a warranty because the controller is like an expensive piece of hardware, in my opinion.
I hope they have like a year or two warranty because
it's an expensive piece of hardware, and I can't see them going for that long. Maybe half a year before they start selling the pads separately because they're really, really important. And I know that there's been a couple of I mean, I know you mentioned earlier to me that there's apparently going to be no games for a long time that are going to use two pads, even though that the Wii U was featured. Hey, it uses two pads, just like the old NES and the Super
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nintendo.
that's what Reggie was saying. He was saying
Yeah,
that's the reason they're not selling any separately because there's no games in the launch window that is gonna take advantage of the second launch pad. So we might have to wait a while, like
yeah.
possibly till middle of next year, something like that around spring to get a game that's gonna actually take advantage of those, you know.
I hope they're honestly not expecting like your friend to have a gamepad and bring it over for these games, like they mentioned at E3 this year. Because like, I can only think of maybe
Dude, what about all right,
one
dude, what
person
about
within a 20-mile radius that might get a Wii U.
Dude, listen, what about Legend of Zelda like the four Link of Four Swords, whatever it's called? That worked out perfectly, man. In the Final Fantasy game, we had to bring over the Game
Well,
Boys.
yeah, but that's
Worked it perfectly,
you could
man.
still play it single player without the Game Boys.
No,
If your friends came over,
no.
yeah, they brought their Game Boys, but everyone had a Game Boy.
Yeah, that is true.
It's kind of like how almost everyone right now has a DS or something.
Yeah, that
I
is
mean, I don't
true.
want to sound presumptuous like that, but like most of my real life friends, they all have DSs. They don't have 3DSs, but they all have DSs. I have a DS, and I can probably name maybe one or two of my friends that do have a 3DS, but the 3DS hasn't been used in that kind of way. Not to mention Pokemon games that are still being released are DS games, not 3DS games.
That's great. That was a good move on their part.
Very good move.
Um, yeah, actually, we might have to. I might have to go into like maybe 10 minutes. Maybe we should because it has been an hour. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no, it hasn't. It's been like 45 minutes,
It's
right?
been 50 minutes.
All right, 50 minutes.
So maybe we
All
should
right.
start wrapping it up.
No. I was thinking maybe we should do the final topic, which is like our channels, like what we're gonna do, like
Okay. Starting to wrap it up, rather.
you know,
Well,
start.
personally, on Manly Gaming 101, I am going to work on obtaining a better capture card. And with this better capture
All right.
card, I'll be able to stream directly to the live stream instead of my twitch.tv. And it'll be able to, if not that, I'll at least be able to capture sound, which I can't do while streaming right now. Unless I use Flash encoder, and that's just a big mess because then I can't capture my voice without using virtual audio cable, and virtual audio cable actually messed up my sound for a while. So doing that, I'm going to look into this capture card that I saw actually recommended to me by someone. Thank you,
All
Kazi.
right.
And it's an external one, so I don't have to worry about getting a better computer. So I'm going to work on that in the next couple of months, so maybe I'll get some actual console gameplay and actual HD out. And I'm going to start streaming more constantly again. I'm going to see about starting up the Final Fantasy VII Let's Play again. I'm going to try to kickstart that Final Fantasy IX Let's Play so we can get that moving a little bit. I don't want to abandon any of my current Let's Plays that have parts as it is. And I'm thinking of maybe starting a Final Fantasy VIII one. Depends. I do love that game. And on October 20th, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour marathon
Oh yeah,
for
for
Extra Life 2012.
I unfortunately can't be there. I
Yeah,
gotta work that day,
he's
but
got to work. But I'm going to be playing I Want to Be the Boshi, which is a fan game for I Want to Be the Guy that I personally think is longer and harder than I Want to Be the Guy. I mean,
yeah.
last year I played something in my mouth. It's hair. Last year I played I Want to Be the Guy. I mean, the whole week leading up to Extra Life last year, I played I Want to Be the Guy for about half an hour before each time I did 2 hours of Twilight Princess. So I could run Twilight Princess from start to finish, from the Monday to the Friday before Extra Life to raise some early money. I played I Want to Be the Guy before each one to get geared into gaming, and people loved that. That's where I got most of my donations for the charity from I Want to Be the Guy. And I also played Space Channel 5, which also got some money. So that led up to my attempted 24-hour run of Dark Souls. I quit 13 hours in because I got stuck, and I also was like on the verge of slitting my wrists. So last year I earned about, I don't know, close to $100 maybe, and this year I upped my ante to 200. I'm hoping some people can maybe donate. while I play because I'm going to be doing a 24-hour run of a really, really goddamn hard game, nonstop with voice commentary, and the game is co-op. So some people can join me. SM can't join me sadly, but I'm going to try to get a couple of friends to join me so you can watch our antics and whatnot. And besides that, my $200 goal next Saturday, um, I recently opened up a YouTube channel for highlights, and I'm going to try to start doing YouTube-based Let's Plays under the Manly Gaming 101 banner. So you can go to youtube.com/manlygaming101, and you can check out some highlights, subscribe, maybe like a video, comment or something like that, pass it to your friends, and pass the streams to your friends so that maybe I can get a little bit more publicity so these podcasts can get maybe a little better, more people, something like that, and maybe we can even get more games out once in a while because it's been a while since I last streamed. I know that much. I tried streaming Minecraft. What was it, last week, this week, and that completely exploded in my face. I mean, it'd just be nice to have more viewers, I would say.
Yeah.
Be more
Yeah, I
entertaining.
would say actually that's why I'm also thinking about maybe uploading some stuff to YouTube because live stream is good, but it seems like a lot of people stick to a lot of the popular people. They don't really go around too much and go to other channels.
Twitch
It
has
doesn't seem
a
like
Twitch has a better way of doing it where you put down what game you're playing and people can find you through that. But live stream, even though my stream is verified and listed on the channel listing, I don't seem to get a lot of traffic. I used to, but not lately.
yeah, I'm not sure what's been up with that. So I'm thinking of um doing the stuff on live stream, like usual, but uploading a lot of the content to YouTube also. And it's kind of, doing more live streams and doing more because I did do Home, and Home was actually a really good game. I actually had fun with Home. Um and yeah, just trying to put them on YouTube and get my channel up. Like I really don't have the funds right now to like get a brand new computer, so I think I'm just gonna stick to like the lower end games, a lot of 2D games, because there's a lot of indie developers that are releasing a lot of pretty good 2D games
Mhm.
lately, like on Steam and everything like that. So I'm probably gonna um do more of those and just try to make more content basically.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, SM runs a sister channel to Manly Gaming called Minimum
Minimum,
Requirements.
yes, minimum requirements.
It's down below
Barely
the
updated.
actual stream, with a couple of other links, including a link to, I think my YouTube's down there. Now I think I added that. A link to the Extra Life page for this year. I gotta update that and say what I'm playing and whatnot, and get that around. I've already threw it around on Facebook once or twice. I gotta do it again. And his stream, Minimum Requirements, which I feel guilty for not watching when you actually stream most of the time. So I'm gonna make an effort to actually do that. Sorry. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But Chelsea used to watch on you. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I was reading Kai what she was saying. But
Yeah, Kai does
yeah.
have a point.
Yeah.
It,
Um. Yeah. That is true. It is easy to watch on your own time than trying to see things on live stream and stuff like that. So YouTube definitely does have live stream on that regard. But I mean, even though you can see the old content still, but usually when people go to live stream, they look to see stuff live.
mhm.
And yeah, so yeah, basically that's another. Oh, I'm also gonna try to be a little more informative, like and get games that probably like a lot of, I guess, indie titles and stuff like that, like some games you pay like $5 for. And oh, like look at this one, the Basement Collection. Like that looks like a nice game.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
It's a collection of 9 award-winning indie games from the creator of Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy.
Oh, I've heard very good things about the Binding of Isaac, and I would stream myself playing Super Meat Boy if I wanted to bash my head into a desk. I don't. So last time I was playing with an arcade stick, so that's something else entirely. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm also gonna start doing some lower end games, like the indie games, because indie games really are great compared to some of the
Yeah, yeah.
higher end
And
games.
they're
And
easier to stream, and you don't have to worry about things lagging and stuff
yeah,
like that. I mean, me especially because I don't have the higher end computer to really handle anything more than like indie games. So I figure, hey, maybe if I focus on this, it'll I could just build my way up later, like slowly get a computer, slowly start to build up to higher end games, maybe get something to record off the television,
yeah,
things like that.
like
I figure I'd build up to that.
I'm gonna try to stream Amnesia sometime soon. I'm sure people are gonna really enjoy that. I'm not, but that depends if it actually streams properly because the game runs perfectly fine on my computer. Runs
Yeah,
sweet as a whistle.
I've had that.
But when I tried
Yeah.
to stream it last time, which was the demo, it was about a year and a half ago. My computer blue screened twice, so I'm hesitant, but I'm willing to give it a shot and see if it works. And if it works, good for me. You get Amnesia. If not, then I can settle for Penumbra for a little while because Penumbra does stream properly. So
It's
there'll
true.
be scary games. I wonder if I should start dedicating October to playing scary as shit games until the 20th. Um, I could
That'd
do
be
that.
pretty good.
Yeah, I could do
Dude,
that.
Home. You got the Home is pretty actually a pretty good game, dude.
I don't own it.
Wait, what?
I don't own
Oh
it.
yeah, that's right.
Um,
Oh,
I'm also gonna try to continue Bastion because it was purchased for me by a friend who wanted to see me live stream it, so I'll give that a shot. So all in all, Manly Gaming is probably gonna get some Bastion, maybe some Penumbra or Amnesia soon. Final Fantasy VII, I'm going to do my damnedest to get that running again, and maybe 9 and 8 if we maybe I don't know. Seven's the priority because we're already 8.5 parts through the Let's Play. There's a lot to go. We just got out of
yeah, we need
Costa del
to.
Sol.
Are we at least halfway through? Or are we like a third through, or what?
We're about halfway through disc one,
Oh, cool. So that's like a
and
fourth through, right? Is it just two
uh,
discs?
it's 3 discs, but the third disc is just the final dungeon.
Okay, all right. So we're about like like a sixth through.
Well, let's just focus on getting through disc one, and then we're about a little under halfway through the game. I would say.
All right,
I
all
mean,
right.
the
Yeah.
final
So
dungeon's big, but
yeah. Well, okay. I guess yeah, we should probably definitely try to do that and upload like the whole thing to YouTube. I know you've been putting up the highlights, but I figured the whole stream episodes are probably a little taxing, right? Like
yeah,
upload.
I mean, it's not that it's taxing. It's that it doesn't really seem like it fit well on YouTube with the way it is because we do like 2 hours at a part, like 2 hours per part, 1 hour to 2 hours per part, and it it doesn't come off too well. I would say on a rewatch or something like that because like
Yeah.
it takes a while for people to read their lines because they're watching it through the stream. They're nowhere near me when I'm actually playing it, and sometimes there's the technical difficulties and whatnot. Like the stream might not load for somebody and whatnot. So I don't think it's the best Let's Play to put on YouTube. Though I definitely will start putting highlights from the Let's Play on YouTube since it's my longest running series as far. I haven't put a
Yeah. That'd be
single
good.
highlight except for the highlight montage I did on my other YouTube account. So I'm gonna start doing stuff like that, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, so far Manly Gaming hasn't gotten too many views on YouTube, but I hope to get it out there.
Well, I
Maybe.
mean, yeah, it just started.
Yeah, I registered it the day I got Resident Evil 6, but I'm not
Like I
actually
honestly
streaming it.
think we could probably build a decent fan base. Like we were we kept being consistent.
Yeah,
Like our content, like we're linking to each other's channels. I mean, we both make YouTube channels
yeah.
and things like that. That's more content, like more stuff is getting out there. I also think like maybe by the end of next year, something like that, we could actually have a decent like fan base. Like it's obviously not gonna be gigantic, but we might get like 100 subscribers, something like that,
I
or
I can
two or
hope.
300 subscribers.
That would be a
Yeah,
great Christmas present to whoever watches this. Merry Christmas, Zane. 100 subscribers. Oh, I thank you, random anonymous man who I don't know who you are, or you might be a woman. I'm not sure. I love 100 subscribers.
Yeah, like I honestly think, cause I mean, I really think that this could actually be kind of a thing, like
I
what
would
we're
love it
doing.
to be a thing. I mean, people tell me they love when I play games. They love watching me play games. But that's really when I only start screaming my head off and like I don't know, raging at the game even though most of the time I'm not really raging. I'm mostly just annoyed and screaming for the sake of screaming because I like to scream. I don't know. Screaming's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It is fun.
Woo!
That wasn't a scream, that was a woo. But
Woo!
um people I mean, one of my most watched
Woo!
live streams, I think I had about 20 people, was when I was playing.
Woo!
Okay, stop that, please. You're scaring
Oh,
me.
okay.
You're scaring me. Um,
Got
I had about 20 viewers at once watching me play I Want to Be the Guy at Gaiden when it first came out. I was streaming, and I even got the creator of Gaiden and I Want to Be the Guy to screw around with me while streaming. That highlight is on YouTube. That is on YouTube. Go look at my YouTube channel. You don't have to fish around my live stream. You can go see it on YouTube. It's there. Um, and it was fun. I did rage a lot. I did get stuck a lot, and I even ran it on curse mode, and I ran a little bit of it while I was upside down. So I had fun, and I got a lot of viewers out of it. And
Yeah.
it's stuff like that. That's why I'm playing Boshi on the 20th. I want people to come in and watch it. I want people to watch me rage, and I want people to donate to charity for watching me suffer. I will suffer for children's hospitals. That's how
Yeah.
much I'm donated to this cause. I can't actually donate any money myself because, quite frankly, I don't have money to donate. But the best I can do is suffer and hope people will donate for amusement out of my eternal suffering of playing a really difficult game that makes me want to scream.
No, I'm sure there'll be some donators. There's gonna be donators. When you aiming for 200 this time?
I'm aiming for
300?
200, and let's see how a 24-hour marathon grants me.
All right.
I'm already tired.
And
I'm tired thinking about it. I feel it
you
in my
you'll do
chest.
fine. You should got 2 or 3 days to rest.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at my
Days.
calendar
Well, one
right
day.
now, and like
Got like 1 day.
the entire week leading up to the 20th, I'm almost completely free. So I might try to stream some stuff leading up, like Amnesia.
Yeah.
We'll have to see, but that's what's gonna go on Manly Gaming, and
Yeah. And yeah, minimum requirements. I'm just gonna try to basically focus on just getting more content and a lot of just a lot more games because there's like a lot of browser games and stuff that people don't usually play, and some for good reason. But but,
you dumbass. And some for good reason. God damn it.
It's true. Like some of these is like terrible. Like I play some of these browser games and they're just like completely horrible. I'm like, why did I do this? But Poke Ninja, Pocky, whatever it's called, that was actually a pretty disappointing but decent game. It was pretty entertaining when I played it. And I'm gonna try to play. There's also a Gunbound ripoff that was decently entertaining, which is I don't know why they rip off Gunbound because Gunbound's kind of a rip off of Worms, but whatever floats people vote. But yeah, I mean, I played a few pretty decent browser games, and I'm gonna just focus on getting more content, more games, more because more content would obviously equal more viewers and more stuff like that. So I'm just gonna try to get that on YouTube because I mean, the thing about YouTube is that like it could just be a random person like, I wonder how this game is, and they'll search it, and then boom.
Yep.
And people don't usually do that on live stream. I don't think.
I don't even know if there's a search bar.
Yeah, there's a search bar.
This is Zane showing how much he knows about live stream. Nothing.
Well, actually, yeah, okay, you can search channels. I don't know how accurate that is.
I just sit here streaming on live stream, and I've been doing it for like over a year or something like that, and I got a verified channel. I know nothing about the site. I don't even know how to use the studio right. I kind of punch it sometimes, and sometimes it deletes my videos.
I hate when that happens.
It does it all the time. I lost.
Yeah.
I lost. Let me think. Twilight Princess was about 6
Yeah, you
parts.
lost that. I want to be the Bashi episode we did. We did like an hour or two long
Yeah,
episode.
it got
Lost
taken
the-
off live stream, but I have the actual video archived.
Oh, okay.
I found that out like last week, and that's where I started making the highlights from the Boshi stream.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, yeah, all right. It's a good thing you had that because
Yeah, there was a lot of funny shit going on there.
there really was.
It was like 2 hours, and it was gold. I mean, that was just us raging for about 2 hours straight. But what can I say? Stuff's gonna go down. This
Yeah, it's
podcast is gonna
definitely-
happen maybe twice a week.
Yeah, and we're gonna start getting more content. And hey, Coney 2013, let's go.
Shut the fuck up. Shit.
Dude, we're getting ready for Coney 2013.
I'm gonna
man.
fucking cut you off and end this. You keep talking. Let's see where it goes.
Alright, but in all seriousness, I really think we could get a decent fan base with this. Like I really, because I mean, there's other people who do it and they're fine.
Mhm.
And I really think we could get like a decent, like we just kept coming with the content, and I mean, because that's what people mainly look for. Like they want to get up in the morning, you know, go to the channel, look at some new content and stuff like that. I mean, that's why web comics work. That's why
Game Grumps works.
yeah, Game Grumps work. That's why Total Biscuit works, and other like gaming podcast people, OMFG Cata, because it's kind of addicting. Like you get up in the morning, you know, you have kind of a boring morning. What do I want to do? Let me watch this guy for like 2 hours and get some more information about games or get more information about this or that. And it's like it's pretty addicting. So I think if we put out the content, we could actually this could actually become a thing. Like I know we don't have a lot of people now, but we have a ton of archives. We have a ton of material. We just need to get it out there, you know,
If you build it,
and produce. Yeah,
if you build it, they will come.
yeah, exactly. That's why I really think like this could actually work. Like we could actually make this into a thing. We
Yes.
put the best foot forward.
Let's go build that baseball field. Oh wait, we're talking about gaming.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not baseball fields.
Well, shit. I was hoping that I could use my athleticism. I can't say I was. I am not athletic. No, I am kind of athletic. That's besides the point.
Yeah, we're not talking. We're not. You're not here to talk about your galloping abs, Zane. You're here to talk about
My abs will gallop me
Games.
to another state. God damn it.
the games, the content. We could strive. We could go to the next level.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, we've already spoken about what we want to do with the channel, and
Yeah.
there's a good introductory podcast to. Well, if it's really a podcast, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, whatever this thing is.
This happened, and we could, and this is something we could easily do. Like this isn't like trying to get like a Final Fantasy group together and like do that. This is just us talking, and we do this all the time. So this shouldn't be like too hard. Just an hour, maybe hour and a half a week, every a few times a week, maybe 1 time to 2 times a week, something like that.
Yeah.
I think we
So-
can manage that.
We can manage that, and we can manage our channels a little better. I mean, there's been a drought in both our channels, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. I
and-
mean, mine especially. Yours has been kind of uploading content. I think last thing I did was home, which was like, I think 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Last
maybe
thing
longer.
last thing I did was I tried playing League of Legends on stream, and then everything crashed except League. I didn't notice.
Didn't Bastion crash? Did
No,
Bastion?
Bastion
fine,
was
right?
perfect. Bastion
Yeah, I
was
tried
perfect.
doing Bastion and it crashed. I was playing for like 30 minutes doing a commentary. I looked, and it was like, oh, error. You
No,
crashed.
no. I hate
Like,
that.
you serious?
It
I
did-
think I redid it and it just crashed again. And I was like, I'm done.
But
I'm like,
yeah, the podcast is well, that's what I'm gonna call it now, and then people are gonna be like, "No podcast," but that's besides the point.
Four Player Podcast. This is Four Player Podcast.
Oh no, we're ripping them off. I'm sorry, for a player podcast. I'm subscribed to you on YouTube. It's okay, but No, we're gonna do our podcast thing. It's not always gonna be about gaming. Sometimes it'll be casual conversation. It might be funny, maybe. That might be me thinking too much and saying we're funny when we're not. But
Well, I'm funny, man. I'm funny.
SM knows he's funny.
Yeah.
I think I'm funny. I'm full of myself. I'm full of myself. I am not afraid to admit it. So fuck you, and I'm pointing at flashlights and shit and saying fuck you, but fuck you too. But you know what? We're gonna have fun with this, and it's up to you if you want to watch. So if you don't want to watch, don't watch, but please watch. I'm begging you, please watch. But
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny, man. We're gonna just have fun. It's gonna be funny. That's why stuff is funny, cause you have fun in it. Yeah, it's fun and funny.
yeah, you just made me a little bit more tired
Oh,
just by
man.
saying that. I'm just like now I'm tired. Thanks.
Dude, we're having fun, and you're in New York. That's fun in why? Funny, dude.
You fucking, God damn it! I was like, where's he going with this? Where's he going with this? God fucking damn. Manly Gaming!
Yes, Manly Game 101.
40!
Yeah, and we're doing this Coney 2013, man.
Oh, I'm gonna
Coney
fucking,
20.
I'm gonna take you up back and beat that the fuck out of you. Anyway, yeah, that was I guess we're done for today. We'll probably come
Yeah, I
back.
guess so. I mean, this was a nice little thing. We got like an hour, right? We got like a good hour in.
hour and 16.
Oh, all right.
So
Yeah, we did pretty good.
that was fun. We'll have another one Tuesday, if not earlier, if we get really fucking bored this weekend, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I might be available Sunday, but if all else fails, I should definitely be a Tuesday.
I think we should try streaming something on Sunday instead of a podcast.
No, I mean, yeah, we could probably
Look
try.
forward to it, maybe. Maybe. Perhaps.
Maybe it could happen, it could not happen, but
yeah.
you could just rewatch this on Sunday, and there's your extra content right there.
Yeah, and then if that doesn't happen, I'll just eat a cupcake. Which I'm gonna do right. Shit, I'm out of cupcakes. Okay, well, that was Manly Gaming 101 podcast. I'm out of cupcakes. I'm Zane, and that's SM. And
Yo.
yeah, he said yo.
Goodbye. I mean, goodbye.
And
That's what
yeah,
I meant.
goodbye. And you know, he was never actually here. In fact, I was just playing audio from conversations we had in Skype. It's actually just me talking to a soundboard.
No, it's not.
See? I made it say that.
Coney. 2012.
Shut up. So this is Zane and his soundboard signing off.
SM.
Godspeed.